Welcome friends. In this video, we will be sharing a thought about having an emergency SIP. So what is this emergency SIP and for whom it will be useful? In our experience of having served more than 500 investor clients, we have observed a characteristic that most of the investors stop and remove their investments as it just gets into a quantity where it can have massive growth, thereby putting a brake on their investments, getting the potential of the biggest growth that can be had if they stay invested for a longer period. Staying invested for a longer period, like say 10, 15 or 20 years, you will give your investments the opportunity to have massive wealth creation. Once the investment crosses 6th or 7th year, that's when we can see big growth ticking into the investment. That's where compounding starts to kick in. A 5,000 rupees SIP done for 5 years would not have significant growth in the first 5 years. From the 6th year, you will see the investment having growth of each in SIP, that is 5,000 rupees SIP in a single day itself. That is the power of compounding and long-term investing. While unfortunately, only 20% of the investors in the market give their investments this opportunity to have very big growth, whereas the other 80% take out their investments for every small reasons, like they want to buy a bike, they want to go for a vacation, buy some jewelry, go for higher education. We don't say that you should not draw your investments. In fact, all of them keep asking when we say to stay invested, if not for my use, why should I save? Why should I do these investments? That's right, but the challenges are the earning period in our life is not infinite. Very soon, even before we can think, we will become inundated and world does not give us the opportunity to earn. At that time, if we have a savings in our part to help us have some income, that keeps us away from a fear of always thinking about what next. Instead, if suppose we consume of all the income that we generated throughout our earning period, then what happens is every day, 24 hours, 365 days, mind will keep getting into the fear of what will happen for everything. This I am telling you from my own experience, and that fear will become stress, and stress will create health issues will create more expenses, and life gets ruined. I think I am connecting with all of you, those who are watching and seeing this video, because everybody goes through these challenges. So there is a need to have the investments kept for a longer period, and also we have a need to meet our emergency requirements. So how can we do this? This is where the thought of having an emergency SIP came. Of course, it's not our idea. It was given by one of our industry veterans. Thought it was very nice, so that we thought of sharing this idea with our investors. So how this emergency SIP works? Let's say out of the total investments we do, in that maybe 10 or 20% we keep aside for emergency purposes. We take a separate scheme which is not having more volatility and also has sufficient growth. So we keep this aside, and when there is a need for any expenses to be met from the investments, take only this portion of emergency part and not touch the balance which is kept for long-term growth. And it is not specific that we should keep only 10 or 20%. In our experience, again, the age group between 25 to 40 is the segment where lot of drawings happen. So for them who are in the 30 to 40 age group or 25 to 40 age group, they can have like 50 or 60% of their investment also in emergency. Of course, the drawings will be higher, but the discipline of having a portion kept for long-term investment will help them have some investment at least available for them for their lifetime use later on, when their jobs get over and by the time they have to depend on the investments. This way we will not touch the bulk investments at all. Of course, for this to work, the investor should have the highest commitment that I will not touch the investment that's kept for long-term growth, while all my needs will be met only with the emergency funds that I set aside. Mutual fund investments help investors to create very big wealth. Let me give this with an example. There is a scheme named Nippon India Growth Fund. This scheme was launched in 1995 at a unit value of 10 rupees per unit. Today the NAV of this scheme is 2295. This scheme has had a growth of 22,850% in 28 years period. I'll repeat, it is 22,850%. In the same 28 years period, Indian market has grown 2,116%. Market itself has had very big growth, in that this scheme has made 10 times the market growth. This is the power of compounding. And I would like to give one real time experience that I had with this scheme in the market. This Nippon India Growth Fund reached its NAV of at 1000 rupees NAV in 2017. At that time, lot of investors who had invested in the scheme started withdrawing money from the scheme, saying that scheme has reached 1000, from here it will not grow. But contrary to their belief, today from 1000 it has gone to 2295, that's 130% in the last 6 years. 1000 rupees invested into Nippon India Growth Fund in 1995 is today worth 2.3 lakhs. Today maybe 1000 rupees is short change. Even in 1995 it was not a very big amount. Easily we could spare 1000 rupees, because those days IPOs used to come for 1000 rupees only. 100 shares IPO, 1000 rupees we can put it. Those days premium and all was not there like what we have today. So 1000 rupees if we had put and left it to grow, today it is 2.3 lakhs. A real time experience, one of our investor who had put similar 1000 rupees in one of the Birla Sun Life schemes in around 2000. Last year we were able to get the statement. Somehow we found that statement and he sent it to us. I had invested 1000 rupees, see what is the value of this, because at that time KYC was not there, PAN card was not required, so obviously they were not getting the statement. Somewhere they found the statement and gave it to me, and when we went and checked the NAV and the value of that investment, 1000 rupees invested in 2000, mid 2000 they had invested, the value of that investment was around 1.38 lakhs. 1000 rupees to 1.38 lakhs in about 22 years time. This is the power of compounding that mutual funds create. For whom is this emergency SIP most useful? In our experience, the 20% of matured investors, they are very well disciplined. They don't touch their investments for any of their regular errands. They keep it very clear that this money is kept for long term use. Of course, today this people who are keeping aside money for long term, they are not also wanting this money to be used throughout their lifetime. They want to create legacy for their next generation. That's how the thought process has slowly changed today. Whereas apart from them, all other people who are there, we would recommend them to have an emergency SIP, so that they can help their investments grow for a longer period and also meet their regular errands through the small saving that is kept aside to meet those expenses. Let's say you are running a 10,000 rupees SIP now. Plan to add 1000 rupees more, that's about 10%, and keep it aside for emergency SIP. This one, when the need comes, we start using this emergency portion only. If suppose we get to see that probably if this money that is accumulated is not sufficient to meet the needs, maybe we can increase from 1000 rupees to 2000. So that way contribute more and spend more to enhance your lifestyle, while the 10,000 kept aside for investment continues to go for a longer time. Be very clear that come what may, I will not touch the investment kept for longer term, and use all that is kept for emergency. You can even go for movies, go for a vacation, all the spends can be done. Like I said, maybe there is no fixed rule like 10 or 20%. For those who want to have more spends, maybe you can keep it as 50% or even 60%. That way at least some portion keeps growing for a longer period. And mutual fund investments is actually a magic wealth creator. Let's say you are invested into a mutual fund and you are going to a shopping mall. As soon as you enter the shopping mall, let's say hundreds of shops are there in the shopping mall, and being a mutual fund investor, you are a part owner of almost all the shops there. Every sale that happens in that shopping mall creates profits and investment growth for you. How do you like it? This is far better than owning a piece of gold or a piece of real estate, which is more concentrated. By owning a mutual fund, you own a piece of this universe which grows 24 hours, 365 days, whether you like it or not. That is the beauty of mutual fund investing. It is a very, very big wealth creator. It never goes to loss. Loss making in mutual fund is because of investor behavior and not because of the market. Stay invested, you are going to be super rich through mutual funds. So if you want to have an emergency SIP for your account, please send us a message through WhatsApp or by mail. We will ensure that to whatever extent you want your emergency SIPs to be added, we can add that into a scheme that is suitable for drawing over a period. Thank you. Happy investing and a beautiful wealth creating journey throughout your life.